I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, we are courtroom hopping into the courtroom of Judge Sean Perkins out of the state of Michigan. And this is actually going to be for a sovereign citizen by the name of Christopher Gray that we covered before. But what happened is I ran into one of his earlier proceedings. And as always, I tell you guys, if I ever run into a proceeding of a sovereign citizen that we've never seen before or that I've never seen before, then I'm going to share it with you. And believe it or not, both of the proceedings are connected. And also, he's still going to court for this particular case to this day. And I think there are some more proceedings out there. I'm going to look for those. I know he skipped court a bunch of times, so that's why it's been prolonging over like 3 years. But I wanted to share this with you. But if you don't know who Christopher Gray is, what I will do is, instead of having you go and jump from this video to watch the previous proceeding that we shared with you guys, which actually came after this one, I'm going to share the first one that I just found, and I'll just add the other one to this video just to make it easier for you guys. And I will add the chapters in there as well. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this proceeding.
Where is Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray is here.
You got a long way to go on your license too, don't you?
Yes.
Let's see here. Fishing without a license? What's your date of birth, sir?
7/11/72.
That's not you. All right, let's see.
What you say?
7/11/72.
Oh, I got them right here.
Let's see. All right, let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Christopher Lamar Gray, case number SP 1191985, counts 1 and counts 2, SP 1257323, counts 1, 2, and 3. We'll also call case number 13-466-1711. We have case number SP 1267865, counts 1, 2, and 3. We have SP 1267877, counts 1, 2, and 3. And this one's in warrant status from way back in 0852-08541. Appearance for the record, please.
William Glenn on behalf of Mr. Gray, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, are you trying to get a driver's license?
Your Honor, I'm here by special appearance.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Go ahead.
I don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of me. I don't understand.
So you don't understand the nature of the cases here in front of you. You don't understand that you got to have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on the roads of the state of Michigan. You don't understand any of that stuff.
Your Honor, I don't understand the jurisdiction. I don't understand how I wound up here. I fail to understand.
Well, I'll tell you how you wound up here. Well, I can probably, I got a similar case, and this gentleman provided me with a motion the other day, and I'm reading the motion, and I'm reading the case law that he says is supporting the fact that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, that the state can't make you have a driver's license, and things like that. And when you read the case law that he gives me, and it's probably going to be, if you did your own motion, it'd probably be the same case law that you would try to cite. It says exactly the opposite of what he is trying to purport.
Okay, so what is the jurisdiction of the court, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
What is the jurisdiction of the court, Your Honor?
You gotta have a license. You know, if you're saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, are you trying to say basic? Let's just talk a little real simple, basic stuff. Are you trying to say that you can just run red lights, you can just speed, you can just do what you want to do on the roads without any repercussions at all?
Your Honor, is this a court of record? I'm sorry, is this a court of record?
As far as I checked, it was, Mr. Glenn.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, so you guys follow a common law.
We follow the state, we follow the statute of the state. We follow the statute of the state of Michigan.
You follow a common law, Your
The
Honor.
14th Amendment gives the state the right to enforce the police powers of the state. The right of that is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. Part of that right comes, part of that constitutional right says that the state has the authority to regulate the people that are driving on the roads of the state of Michigan, and to say that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens.
The Sixth Amendment allows me to know the nature of what I'm being charged with. And that's
I'm gonna tell you. SP 1267-8653, failure to display a valid operator's license, punishment.
Your Honor, I'm challenging the jurisdiction, Your Honor. I'm challenging.
Go ahead.
I'm challenging this jurisdiction, Your Honor. I don't understand the nature of the charges.
All right, well, we won't take up too much time with this.
Can I request a jury trial, Your Honor?
Yeah, all right. What I was gonna do is, all right, so for the jury trial, we have to set a final pretrial, right? We'll set a final pretrial date. We'll have the final pretrial date on May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Final pretrial, and then can we get a jury trial date, Ms. Nash? I was gonna give you an opportunity, well, put it this way.
And for the record, Your Honor, please have the prosecutor put jurisdiction on the record for, if you could, Your Honor. Just let me know so that since we're in court of record.
Well, if I have a signed complaint here, which I have a signed complaint, then that automatically puts the jurisdiction on the record.
All right, I didn't get a copy of that, and if you have a copy, I'm going to need that to be signed under penalty of perjury, Your Honor. If it's an accusation, I'm going to need that.
All right, give me an email address, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Detroit City Services.
Is that Detroit spelled out?
Yes, sir. cityservices@gmail.com.
Email these tickets to this young man. I can't call him. He's a little older than I am.
And yeah, I would just, if one of the things I request is, if I can just get that accusation with sworn penalty of perjury, that would be great. That's
He got it. We'll give it to him again.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna give it to him again. Something, and don't get me wrong. I respect the fact that you have that you want to fight this, but I would say from my experience, you're going about it all the wrong way. And I just ask you that basic question, you don't think that the police or that the state or that the ordinances have a right to stop people from speeding and running traffic stops? Because basically, with your logic that you're trying to purport, then nobody can get stopped for anything.
Your Honor, no one was hurt. There is no injured party, Your Honor. And so upon my book of the law, and this is a court of record, and no one was hurt. And so we're following the common law. I understand that a lot of people don't understand how to function here, but since I do, well, then I want to exercise this right.
I don't understand this, sir. All right, we'll let you.
And the name and address of the prosecutor, Your Honor, please. Thank you.
All right.
And I appreciate Your Honor. I appreciate your patience with me this afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm here for, sir. This got mixed up. This is yours.
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk?
Pardon me?
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk of court? Your clerk of court.
You gotta file the pleadings as the court rules say you're supposed to file the pleadings. Now, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it like the court rules say. And you gotta go, the court rules are all online on how you file the pleadings. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
You gotta serve one to the city attorney. You can serve the other one on the court through my clerk and the email address that she's gonna send you when she sends you those tickets. But if we're gonna play ball, sir, you're gonna have to know the rules of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So I'm gonna give you until what did I say? Final pretrial is May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. I'm gonna give you a jury trial on July the 5th, 2022 at 9 a.m. And I'm gonna give you until I would say the end of the day, April 29th. I mean, strike that, April 22nd, to have any motion that you have in that you want to be heard, because you're gonna give me your motion. You're gonna give me your motion on how the court has no jurisdiction over you. You're gonna give me your motion on how the how all of this stuff, right? And have that in by the end of the day on April.
Your Honor, what I don't think that is my job to prove jurisdiction.
It is your job. It is your job.
It's the assertor's job to prove that whoever's asserting the claim, it's their job, Your Honor.
No, it's your job, sir. You're saying that the court has no jurisdiction over you.
No. What I'm saying is that the court has to prove jurisdiction. That's what I'm saying. That's different. So, and what I'm saying is that the court needs to prove jurisdiction. Whoever asserted the claim has to prove the jurisdiction.
Mr. Goss, are you on the line?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So he's gonna say that you have to prove jurisdiction.
And the jurisdiction is codified in the state of Michigan. So if he's arguing otherwise, that's his beliefs. And at trial, I will be stating the facts of the complaint. And it's his assertions does not mean that they're correct, Your Honor.
Right.
Do I have the right to know the charges that are waged against me?
The judge already gave you the charges.
The charges that are waged against you. This is arraignment. Let's go through that right now. Let's go through that right now so we don't get this. So we don't hear this issue.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Yes.
We'll do that right now.
And you set a schedule, a discovery schedule, sir?
I'm setting that now. Your motion is due April the 22nd, 2022 by the end of the day. The response, if they choose to respond, April 29th, 2022 by the end of the day. And then I'll make a ruling on those motions on the final pretrial May the 3rd, nothing will be able to be, the court is not gonna accept any other documents after, those motion dates are in. And then
Yes,
we'll
sir.
have a jury trial July the 5th, 2022. Today is the date and time set for arraignment, on the warrants and complaint. You are being charged with, on SP 11919-851, driving while license suspended on or about, my birthday, 2021, and that's a possible punishment of, 93 days. The maximum possible punishment for that offense is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On the same day, you were charged with no insurance misdemeanor, maximum possible punishment, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. On the same day, and around the same time, you were charged with.
Yeah, I think they were the same. These were all issued by the same employee at the same time.
Yeah, defective or improper turn signal. So you don't feel that you have to have a right turn, a good turn signal on your car either. That's a civil infraction, and that's a fine of up to $120. Defective brake lights. He doesn't feel you have to have defective brake lights. The police can't pull him over for defective brakes. I don't even have to go through these. These are civil infractions. Let's go to the misdemeanors.
There's no. These are all criminal. I mean, these are civil. Yes, Your Honor. No criminal charges.
These are criminal. I'm going through the criminal. I'm not going to even go through the civil infractions. On or about 10/26/2021, in the city of Detroit, in the area of Mount Elliott and East McNichols, you are operating a vehicle. The allegation is you're operating a vehicle with no plates on your trailer. That's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. On the same date and time, you were issued a ticket for failure to display a valid operator's license, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. And on 2/9,
any of those? Were any of those tickets signed, Your Honor?
On September 4th, 2008, around 2:15 in the city of Detroit, you were stopped in the area of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks for driving while licensed and not valid or improper. That's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and that is in warrant status. Mr. Glenn, can you put your appearance on the record now, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. William Glenn, House Counsel on behalf of Mr. Gray, or standby attorney on behalf of Mr. Gray.
All right. What about the warrant, sir? What are we going to do with that?
Your Honor.
Your Honor, we would ask that the court set aside the warrants.
All right. The court will set aside the warrants. The court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and the court will issue a $0 personal.
Your Honor, I object. Your Honor, I object.
For what?
I don't have enough information to enter a plea, and that's one of my abilities is for me to know and me to understand and be able to make an informed plea. And I need more information.
Your Honor.
The plea for me, and I don't understand. So right now, I object, Your Honor.
Okay. My client stands mute to the charges. That means he doesn't say guilty or not guilty.
All right. Well,
and I'll plead innocent. Then I'll plead innocent.
Well, that's what we just said. We enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, sir. All right. So we'll do that. You got the dates. You got properly arraigned. Are you satisfied, Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you got properly arraigned. You got the date, sir. Good luck to you. I'll see you back on May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30. Again, you got to figure out what's going on with this.
I'll be pro per, Your Honor.
All right. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Have a great one. Thank you again, Your Honor.
Fine. What is your date of birth, Mr. Gray?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. 72 is my date of birth. I have a
Can you say that again? Go ahead, say what you were about to say.
I have a motion before the court, Your Honor.
Let me first start. Do you need a lawyer, sir?
No, Your Honor.
City of Detroit versus Christopher Gray. State your name for the record, please.
Christopher Lamar Gray.
All right, today is the date and time set for a pretrial, and then there's warrants on the other matters. I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm gonna give you a $0 bond. And I'll recall the warrants. What is your motion, sir?
I have a motion to strike and dismiss.
What are the bases?
Basis of federal rules of civil procedure. Number one, there's no claim. There's no ratification of the claim.
There is a claim. There is a. You want me to read out I waived the reading of the information. You want me to read the allegations that have been made into the record? Do you need me to do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't, Your Honor.
I deny your motion on that basis. What else do you have to say? What else?
You deny my motion because of what, Your Honor?
Yes.
There is no real.
I deny your motion because there is a and this is criminal procedure, not civil procedure. But I denied your motion because there is an allegation here.
You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. And so that's what I'm asking for. If there was a criminal matter, basically what you're telling me is that something has happened, someone has either been damaged or someone has been or either someone has been damaged or someone has something has been come up missing. And if that's the case, then that means that there is a crime. And if there's a crime, then there is what do you have that's saying that I did the crime? What you're saying that I created this crime that hurt this person. And if I hurt this person and I created the crime, then a third thing that you have to have is the identification of the person. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
Okay. You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
And where did you get that? Where did you get that from? Where did you learn all that?
I've been studying for quite some time, trying to understand what's going on. I have a different perspective as to what's being said that happened. I'm understanding more the procedure that is necessary for a crime to go for them to bring a crime forward. I'm understanding that a bit more.
And where did you get that understanding?
I've done some Cornell law studies. I've also sat down with a couple of friends who have had some issues. I picked up wherever I could, just started to study the law. Just started to go back through Cornell law, started to figure out what was going on and to understand the nature of how what a crime is and everything else. So just a course of me searching it out.
And you're citing Cornell law for all of that you just said to the court?
No, what I did, Your Honor, was I realized that one of the biggest portions that you have to have is the corpus delicti. And that is in when you're being charged criminally.
What is a corpus delicti?
What do you mean, what is the corpus delicti?
What is your understanding of what corpus delicti is?
That is the corpus delicti is the law that's saying that there is a crime that's being committed. So in order to do that, you have to show the corpus delicti, which is you saying this is what happened. This is how this person was
Okay,
damaged.
so
There is no
the
person.
officer on this day, on these dates, because I got a lot of them, said
I
that you
object.
drove.
I object. You're
Don't
the officer
interrupt.
works.
Don't interrupt
Okay,
me.
I
Don't
apologize,
interrupt.
Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
Officer says that you drove a vehicle that wasn't registered and wasn't titled, or titled and or untitled, that you drove without a valid driver's license, that you drove without valid insurance. Again, on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without a valid driver's license and no insurance. And then on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without unregistered or untitled or both, and drove without a valid driver's license, repeat offender, that you failed to have a trailer plate, and that you failed to secure a load on your vehicle. And on another occasion, on the same occasion that you failed to secure, that they allege you failed to secure the load, failed to have a trailer plate on your vehicle, that you didn't provide a valid driver's license. So those are the crimes. And in the state of Michigan, whether you agree or not, they are crimes. So based on your motion and all of that stuff you talked about, corpus delicti and things like that, the court denies the motion. Okay, based on those reasons that I just said. Now, how do you want to move forward? Because wait a minute, I'm not finished.
My apologies, Your Honor.
How do you want to move forward? Because in my experience, someone that comes into court, as you do, you do not want to take an offer. You do not believe that you need to have plates or registration or insurance. And you just disregard all of that portion of the law. And either you are going to move forward by having a trial, or you're going to take a deal. What do you want to do, sir?
Your Honor, first I want to put my objection on the record. And at that point,
whatever your objection is noted. What do you want to do, sir? Do you want a trial? You have two options: trial, or you want to take a deal.
Your Honor, I request a jury trial.
A jury trial.
A jury trial, yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Ms. Mathis, I need a jury trial date. Please.
And if I may, Your Honor, what time is Mr. Gray presently docketed?
I don't even think it matters, but I'll tell you. I don't think it matters. He's got the newer cases and the older cases are pre-trial at 8:35. Christopher Lamar Gray, and then he had some in warrant status. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases into the record. You know what I want to ask, Mr. Gray, and you can choose to answer it or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I surmise and what I've heard, and I don't know if you're alleging the same thing, is that and you basically did allege the same thing, that no crime has been committed because no person has been, the people of the state of Michigan are in danger of you driving without the proper documentation or anything like that. But I don't, and I'm gonna surmise, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're gonna say that there's no jurisdiction to be able to pull you over because no one has been injured. Is that correct?
I think that what I'm saying is that the city of Detroit had an officer pull me over to say that you're not following these rules. And my stance is, okay, well, then that's fine. If we're following rules, then therefore, let me make sure that you as well as are following the rules, because if I don't do that, then freedoms are lost. So that is in
Right.
which, that is the way that I proceed to say, okay, well then, if we're playing cards and we playing show me yours, if this is your hand, then this is mine, and let's proceed accordingly to the law. That's it. That's my only standing is, if someone doesn't stand up every once in a while and define the edges, then they all disintegrate and people lose rights.
And you know something? With
Yes,
that
sir.
being said, I would agree with you 1,000%.
Mhm.
That's why I pride myself, and I hope I'm doing a good job for the citizens that come in here, and the police for that matter, and the prosecution, that I am calling the balls and strikes right. And if something doesn't proceed as it should, then I will dismiss the case one way or the other. But in my short time on this bench, and in my time at practicing law as a defense attorney, I get this, they can't pull me over. I've heard the corpus delicti, first time the civil procedure has been thrown at me. But from the way I see it, is that you just don't feel that the police have a jurisdiction to pull you over for these issues. Is that correct?
Do I have again, Your Honor, what I feel is that if we are following rules, that if I have to follow the rules, and every person out there, all of these officers, everybody else has to follow the rules. So if it comes down to it,
what I'm gonna hope that you do by the time you come back on the trial date, jury trial date is gonna be strike that, March the 18th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably gonna have an audience because everybody follows me on these cases all the time.
I understand.
All right, and I don't know if that's what you want, but we're gonna do that.
It's not that.
March the 18th, 2025. We're gonna have a final pre-trial date. Final pre-trial. This is to you, Mr. Bowman, especially the day before, on February 17th, 2025 at 8:30. So Mr. Gray and Mr. Bowman, Mr. Bowman, I need you to have all your officers appear on that date. Who's ever going to state these allegations, so that we know that we're not just summoning the people of the city of Detroit to a jury that's not actually going to go. So all parties must appear, and that can be via Zoom. And the trial is going to be in person. All right. All parties must appear on final pre-trial date and obviously on the trial date. And what I would implore you to do is you need to figure out the right game, because it doesn't sound like you're playing the right game.
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate, first and foremost, let me say, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you sitting here and engaging with me at this level. So I recognize what you're saying, and so I guess it's to the table we go. So
yeah, but get your game in order, because I'm just giving you a little heads up. If you come in with that game on the jury trial date, then more than likely you'll lose, unless you can find one of those jurors or a couple of those jurors, or even all of them, to have some sympathy for you, sir. I don't know.
I got a whole basis for understanding, and so yeah, if you know it.
Well, that basis that you outlined shortly today is not.
What was flawed in my what was flawed, Your Honor? What is
we
flawed
already
in
discussed it. We already discussed it. The federal rules of civil procedure that you brought up as a motion to dismiss, not the right basis. The corpus delicti, they do have a corpus delicti. They do have a crime that they say has been committed. And if you read the MCL, the Michigan court rules, and the Michigan statutes, then you'll see those crimes outlined there. They have them on the tickets. They got the statute numbers that are on the tickets. So that's not the right basis. So you're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I guess we will have that discussion again. I appreciate it. I also want to say I recognize and honor your compassion that you sit on the bench with. I see it as you go out here and you judge our people, and so for all of that, kudos, man. That's for where you sit. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I appreciate
Yes,
that,
sir.
Mr. Gray.
Yes, sir.
You have a
Yes,
safe
sir.
happy holiday season, sir. And
You as well.
best of luck to you. I'll see you back on March the 17th, 2025 at 8:30 for a final pretrial. And let me say this, let me add to
Yes,
the record.
yes,
If
Your
there's
Honor.
if there's any motions, those motions need to be in
10
writing.
days, within 10 days.
Let's put that on the record to a motion. Those motions need to be in writing. Have those motions to the court by February 14th, 2025. And the response will be February 21st, 2025. And I'll rule on those motions on the final pretrial date of 3/17/2025. Again, all
Thank you,
parties
Your Honor.
must appear, Mr. Kaufman, all right?
Well, guys, we've come to the end of both of these proceedings dealing with Mr. Christopher Gray and Judge Perkins. As always, Judge Perkins is Judge Perkins. He's going to handle each sovereign citizen case accordingly. With Mr. Christopher Gray, one thing I said when I shared his second proceeding before, I said that he's a respectable guy, seems to have some intelligence outside of trying to do the whole sovereign citizen script thing. But I won't go in on the commentary on the second one, being that I did that before. But what I will say about the first video, being that this is my first time seeing it, his first proceeding, is that, same type of lingo, the jurisdiction thing. We know that he was driving without a license. So basically practicing some of the sovereign citizen ways. But one thing I will say about some of these sovereign citizens that sometimes they just don't take advantage of, and that's standby counsel. And if you can see in that first proceeding, if he would not have had that standby counsel, he would have missed out on a couple things that was beneficial to him. And I think a lot of times why these sovereign citizens don't like to have standby counsel or keep standby counsel, even though the judge, the attorney themselves, the prosecutor explains to them, like, listen, I'm not your lawyer. You can still be your own lawyer, but I'll be here just in case you have questions. A lot of them struggle with that because in their mind, everybody in the courtroom, the whole system is out to get them. But if you notice, most sovereign citizens, when they utilize their standby counsel, it works to their benefit. But with that being said, once again, thank you guys for joining me. I am going to see about Christopher Gray's other appearances, if there are any, because I know when I was going through his file, he skipped a lot of appearances. He's actually supposed to be going to trial in May. He was supposed to go recently in March, and I think he skipped his pre-trial in March, so he might not even show up in May. But if I find anything else, I will share it with you guys. But with that being said, as always, thank you for joining me here at Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. And until the next time, guys, that we get together, know that I appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe. This is Sovereign Citizens Court. And for now, guys, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. God bless you guys. Thank you.